Round of applause for the provost. Thank you all. So next on our agenda is the Matriculation Lecture. And I know most of us have been asking ourselves, what are we going to discuss right now? If you've known the college, you will know that we've had a series of lectures in most recent times, and this has been a very big advantage for our students. I would want to reiterate that you'll be getting mails from the college for you to attend lectures, either virtually or on-site. Please make yourself available because these are very rich programs that are part and parcel of your academic work here in the college. So very quickly, I would want to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Akin Akinpelu, for his matriculation lecture. You're welcome, sir.
The Provost, Dr. Olajumoke Mekilua, the Deputy Provost, the Dean, School of Education, Dean, Student Affairs, all HODs here present, Training and Development Manager, Registrar, and every other member of the board. I want to say a good afternoon to everybody here. And to all the matriculating students, we are saying congratulations ahead. I'm so happy, I'm delighted to do this speech because Corona is home for me. The vision of this College of Education is to see how teachers are being trained to become globally relevant. And at a point in my academic and career pursuit, I went through this system many years ago, and I'm a product of the vision of Corona Schools Trust Council. For me, education is the parameter that brings about social change to a nation. And it's a major instrument for development. And this is only propagated by the teachers. We all know that the system and the educational system is going through a lot of issues, and most importantly, the dignity of the teaching profession is being eroded and is not respected as such again. The challenges that have plagued the teaching profession has indeed caused a gap between the learning needs and the learning outcomes that we find amongst the children. This is why there's a great need for us to bridge the gap, and this is why the Corona College of Education is existing. Whilst global conversations are going on to drive the development of the teaching profession in terms of improved perception, in terms of commensurate remuneration, and probably skilled professional development, there's a new generation of teachers that must emerge and take responsibility for their own career and professional development. Permit me to say that there is a need for a new generation of what I call the 7-star teachers. The 7-star teacher is one that would demonstrate expertise at all costs. A 7-star teacher is one that would take into his or her own hand and assume the position of not just a teacher, but a destiny molder and a nation builder. A 7-star teacher will conduct himself at a higher level than most members of the society because he's an epitome of virtue. There's no doubt that education is evolving and there are lots of things going on around. The kind of children that we are having in this present time, they are not the ones that we used to have many years ago, particularly when you are dealing with the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas. The Gen Zs are the ones born between 1995 and the early 2000s. They are the ones exposed to the internet world They love to learn with fun. They want to learn with fact. They would ask you every question, which you would never take as insultive, but a generation wanting to express themselves. And you must never take offense around that. Not to talk about the alpha generation, who were given birth to just a few years before now. They are exposed to things like machine learning, exposed to things like artificial intelligence, what we call AI. Their thinking pattern is quite different, and you must be able to relate with them. The one that is most challenging right now is the babies that are given birth to during COVID. How to handle a COVID generation, a COVID baby growing up in the educational sector is going to take a lot of challenges and evolution to deal with. So it tells you that there's a great challenge on our part, and that we must understand the generation of the children that we are dealing with. In as much as we are putting that to heart, it means that we need to take responsibility. I will share with you one of my experiences in the classroom many years ago. I entered into the classroom and I greeted a young lady who was in year 12 at Corona School Bagada. Corona School Agbara. And she did not answer me, and she walked away. Then I saw other students that walked up to me and they said to me, if you like yourself, you are new here, don't go near that lady. That girl rather, she is saucy and she would insult you. She does that freely with every teacher. I said, that's why I'm so interested in this young lady. Then suddenly I began to watch her and I began to observe this lady. Then I asked a group of her friends, I said, what does she like most? They said, academically, they can't say, but they know that she loves Beyonce music. I don't listen to Beyonce music as such, but I went on the internet and I went to find out a lot about Beyonce. Then I had to download most of her freshest and recent tracks. Then I began to learn a few. I know how to tap my hands, tap my legs, and move myself. Then one day she was passing by into my classroom where I was the year tutor. And she walked in and I began to play the music. As I played the music, she turned her one-ton neck, wondering who is the person giving her the kind of vibe she's looking for in school. Then she said, are you the one playing it? I said, yes. She said, you are my kind of guy. And I am supposed to be a teacher. I did not pick any insult from that because I know that I am on a mission. I said, so you love Beyonce music? She said, yes. I said, that makes us two Beyonce lovers. Then she went ahead asking me the different Beyonce music that I know. And honestly, I could not even remember. I just told her to come and look at the system and see the music that I have, and she was quite impressed. The next day, I saw her again, and she decided to say hello to me for the first time. When she said hello, we sat down and we had a conversation. I'd gone to do what I would call a research about her, which you're going to learn in this college, that before you meet every child, you are going to profile them and understand the children that you are dealing with, so that you know how to deal with them and the proper learning style that goes with them. Then I researched about her. She's just a young lady whose parents are abroad, but they brought her to Nigeria to learn common sense, and she's not happy. In fact, she will do all that she's interested, she will do all to make you expel her. But the school understood that trick. Nobody was going to expel her. One of her experiences, if you want to scale out of school, you do it silently so that nobody will see you. She would do her own publicly so that you can see her and expel her so that she can return back to the US and see her parents. But Corona is trained to understand, and they understand how to deal with such children. Then one day, I said to her in passing, I said, I think Nigerian parents don't understand how to take care of their children in this present time. And they don't understand what is going on in their heart. The moment I made that statement, the first thing she said was, you are the reasonable person I've seen this year. And said that that's all I've been trying to tell people, but they just don't get it. I said, I share the same concern with you. And she said, that's how my parents, who live in the US, brought me to Nigeria to come and learn this culture and school here. My other siblings are in the US. They are doing well, and here I am today. I'm suffering in this place. Then we sat down and we talked and talked and talked. That was how this lady, this young girl, became my friend. Today, she's a master's holder and she's a senior manager at Amazon. That tells you that you must challenge yourself as you get into this profession. There's a lot of things you can complain about and say that things are not going well, particularly for teachers. That's why I said that you must take responsibility for this career that you are embarking on. I'll share with you 7 points in passing on how to become a 7-star teacher, which I've also put in a book, which can help you in the future and even now. Number 1, a 7-star teacher must be an adapter. Who is an adapter? If you understand electrical engineering and science, you know that an adapter is something that connects. You must be a teacher that connects with your children, and you must love them. There are lots of things that you must adapt to. You must adapt to technology. You must adapt to curriculum. You must adapt to dynamic teaching experiences. Thank God we are not the generation of people who would have to use typewriter and all of that to teach our children. Now you understand that you must have basic skills that you must use to connect with them. If you cannot use technology, you cannot connect with a child. You are going to be backward. Number 2, because of my time, is that a 7-star teacher should be a visionary. A visionary is someone who can point children to the picture of the future and still maintain friendship with them. You must see the potentials of emerging tools and technology that you can use to help them to have a vision for the future. Number 3, to become a 7-star teacher, is that you must be a collaborator. Many years ago, the word that they use is actually teamwork. But as we evolve, there are certain languages that changed. They call it 21st century survival skill. You must understand some of those things that changed. So they call it collaboration. As a 7-star teacher, you must learn to collaborate, share, contribute, and invent things. It is very critical. You're going to collaborate with your fellow teachers. You're going to collaborate even with the children. You're going to collaborate even with the school that you find yourself. Number 4, the 7-star teacher must be a risk taker. And risk taking there is what I would put within the context of you to be able to surrender to the student's knowledge. A teacher is not somebody who dumps knowledge on people. A teacher is a facilitator of knowledge. And I dare you, because you are going to meet some students who are smarter than you know, you must be able to surrender. And that has happened to me many years ago. Number 5, a 7-star teacher must be a learner. You must keep learning every day. There's a saying that says that the day you stop learning, that's the day you stop dying. You can't come teach a message or teach a subject that you knew 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and you came to teach the same thing. Things have changed. Things have evolved. There are new informations every minute that come into play. You must make sure that you are fresh, and you must make sure that you are current. You have to keep learning. You can't say that the lesson plan you used 4 years ago is what you are going to use this year. Some things must have changed there. At least the cross-curricular links would have changed. A few examples would have changed. Don't be a knowledge giver carrying what is called stale insight. You must learn to be fresh on a daily basis. The 6th one is that you must be a communicator. Everyone from elementary school level right to becoming chiefs of institutions and systems. They have learned to be good communicators. As a teacher, 7-star teacher, you must learn to be able to communicate, particularly with everyone that you find. You have 3 sets of people to communicate with. You are going to communicate with the parents. In communicating with the parents, you must know what to say. There are ways to write reports. There are ways to report a child. You don't say a child is stupid. You don't say a child is foolish. You see, this child can never learn. When you sound like that, you have lost your dignity as a teacher. When a child never understands a thing, you should be blamed and not the child. There's something called the learning styles of children. Maybe you have just connected with the child with your auditory skills alone. What about the visual skills? What about kinesthetics? What about other things? So you never say that. Even if a child is looking foolish, which I believe that there is no child that is foolish, there is a way to explain it to the parent. There's a way to put it up in writing. You are also going to communicate with your fellow teachers. That's really important. That's really good, because you must have the skill. Sometimes you are going to ask your fellow teacher, how do I get this done? How do I get that done? How can I teach this better? Sometimes this helps you a whole lot. And you're also going to communicate with students. The students that you teach, you must be able to speak their language. For that girl called Toby, I just spoke her language. And once you can communicate and speak their language, they are going to submit their brains and their minds to you. The last part is that you must be a leader. 7-star teacher must have the ability to model, and you must have the ability to teach them. Model them into the future. You are not just a teacher, like I said, you are a nation builder. You are the one modeling a great future for them. And that's very, very important. The leadership that you show in the next 5, 10, 20 years, you would find out that these people will respect it and they will keep looking for you. I have a few students, I'm sure I'm still in contact with close to about 45, who are scattered around the world, different countries. Many of them are like colleagues to me now because of the level of knowledge that they have and what they do. And you must be able to embrace that. But we talk at a high cognitive level. We interact, and it's just the joy of every teacher. So as you matriculate today, we are challenging you to be the best. We're challenging you to be the 7-star teacher. You know what you have. The hotels you have around the world, they are called 5-star hotels. Then in Dubai, they moved ahead and created a vacuum, not having a 6-star hotel. What they have is a 7-star hotel. Trying to tell the world that the best you can do is for you to fit in around the 5th or the 6-star hotel. We have gotten to the peak, which is called the 7-star hotel, which means a 7-star teacher must be somebody who would demonstrate expertise at a high level, must be somebody who will be so confident to commit to this educational work and see the children become the best that they can be. With this few points of mine, I hope I've been able to add a few to the knowledge that you have. Once again, I want to thank the Provost, Dr. Lajumoke Mekilu, and every member of the academic board. Thank you so much for the privilege to do this. Thank you very much.
Please, we can do better than that.